Hi everyone, Rajee Narinesingh here, transgender activist, author, and actress. You may recognize me from the reality show Botched on the E! Network, season 2, 3, and 4. And I've also appeared on the reality show I Am Jazz on the TLC network. So I'm coming to you from my very humble home here in South Florida, USA. And how you like my bun? Do I look elegant? I thought I'd try something different. Anyway, have you all ever had a moment where you were like, oh my God, someone was watching your back from above? Like that moment where you were like, ugh, you can't believe whatever happened and that you got through it. And you know, like the angels must have been looking out for you. Well, I've had a number of those moments in my life, and the earliest one, I was probably about the age of like 1.5, 2 years old. At the time, of course, I didn't realize that it was that kind of moment, but now, like as I've lived life and thought about that moment many times, I realized like it was definitely a divine intervention moment. So, like I said, I was about 1.5, 2. My sister hadn't been born yet, and my parents and I, we were living in an apartment at the time in a not so good area of Philadelphia. So, I had my crib, of course, my bed, crib area in their bedroom. But, oftentimes they take me out of the crib and put me in the middle of them to sleep. And I guess if I was being cranky or whatever. So, this particular morning, I'm sleeping in the middle of my mom and dad. And I wake up and I sit up and I see these two strange guys in our bedroom. And I'm looking at them like, who are you guys? I don't know who they are. They're in our bedroom. And my mom and my dad are like sound asleep. And I remember looking over at my mom and looking over at my dad, and I look back at them, and the one guy, they were so busy like looking through my parents' stuff, and then he kind of looked and he noticed I was awake, and he taps the other one on the shoulder and points to me, kind of smiling, like, "Hey, look who woke up." And I'm I'm sitting there on the bed staring at them, and all of a sudden I hear this gentle, motherly type voice. Like it would have been my mom, how she would have talked to me when I was that age. And, the voice said, "Okay, baby, come on. Lay down, go back to sleep. Come on, baby." And I just like laid back down, and I remember kind of like sucking on my thumb and looking at them, and then I drifted back off to sleep. Well, when I wake up, my parents are in the hallway because I sat up and I'm looking, and the police are there. And I remember asking my mom, "Mommy, what happened?" That's probably how I was talking at that time. And I remember her coming over to me and saying, "Some really bad men broke into our place, but it's okay. The police are here." And I'm kind of understanding and not really understanding. But of course, as life went on, I realized what had happened, and I realized how, oh my God, how much of a divine intervention moment that was. Because can you all imagine if I had awakened my parents? Oh my God, Lord knows what would have happened with those guys in the bedroom. And my dad? Oh, so I know for sure that had to be one of those, angel moments. Another time was after we moved into the house. I was like 4 years old. My sister wasn't even a year yet. And we moved into the house that I grew up in, basically, and my sister grew up in an area of Philadelphia called Mount Airy, Chestnut Hill. It's like that area. And it's at that time, I don't know about now, but at that time it was considered like a pretty nice neighborhood. Because I remember when I was growing up and you tell people like what neighborhood you lived in, and you say, Like if they ask you like, oh, what part of the city do you live in? You say Mount Airy, Chestnut Hill. Oh my God, like they'd be like, oh, excuse me, like that. And when you're a kid, you're just dealing with your living situation. You're not really like thinking, oh, well, my neighborhood's better than yours. At least not at that age. I was probably around 9, 10, 11 when this other incident happened. And we were having a string of burglaries in the neighborhood. People from North Philadelphia and West Philadelphia were coming up into Mount Airy and Chestnut Hill, and they were burglarizing homes. And I mean, since then, there's been a lot of gentrification in those neighborhoods, but back then, North Philly and West Philly, they were pretty rough. They were considered the hood. And so anyway, these people were coming up and they were robbing different people in our neighborhoods. And so, like I said, I was about 9, 10, 11, and my mom gave me the choice. Like, I didn't have to go to the babysitter after school if I didn't want to, but my sister's 4 years younger, so she had to go to the babysitter. And it was out of 3 neighbors in our block, in our neighborhood, and it was like really like my block, and then there was a driveway, and then the next block, and the 3 neighbors were like across the driveway. So how I would know where my sister was at is my mom would leave a different color rubber band. So for one neighbor it was a brown rubber band, another neighbor was green, and another one it was red. And this particular day my sister was at Miss Partlow's, so I think her rubber band was red. Yeah. And so I get home and I see the rubber band. I know she's at Miss Partlow's, but I'm like, I'm going to just go in. I'll get a snack, put the TV on, and start my homework. Because, my mom was like, okay, if you don't go to the babysitter, let yourself in, you can get a snack, and, start on your homework. So I do that. So I'm sitting down, I had pulled my notebook out, and I started working, and all of a sudden, I had like this really eerie feeling, like someone was watching me. And I had goose pimples all over. I just felt it. And it was really strong, and I just kind of like looking around, and I thought, no, it's nothing. And I start homework again, and then boom, it comes again, and it's stronger. I mean, really, like it literally took hold of my whole body, like, there is someone in this house, and they're like watching me. Oh my God, I even get goose pimples now when I think about it. I was just that scared feeling came over me, and like from head to toe, I could feel it. And I remember standing up and putting my hand on my hip and saying out loud, really loud, I know you're in here. I know you're in here. I know you're watching me. Where are you hiding? Now, I'm screaming this out loud. What the hell I was thinking, Lord knows. And I was such a queen even at that age. Me with my hands on my hip. But I think it gave me like a little confidence or whatever. I don't know. Whatever it did for me. Lord knows why I did that. But I'm standing there talking to the air and like screaming out like, I know y'all are hiding. Where are you? And then all of a sudden I hear this voice. Get your book bag and get out of there. Get your stuff and leave. And I did. It was like I was following the directions. I grabbed my books, grabbed my book bag, and I got out the house, locked the door, and I ran over to Miss Partlow's. Now, Miss Partlow's house was directly across the driveway from our house. So you could look from her driveway and see, like from her walkway and see our walkway. So anyway, I go in, I knock, ring the bell, and she lets me. She's like, oh, you decided to come over? I said, yeah. She's like, all right, well, go ahead, in the living room, and you can start on your homework or whatever. So I didn't tell her what I was feeling. And my parents must have came home like maybe a half an hour later at the most. And my dad came over to get my sister and I at Miss Partlow's. My mom was by the car gathering some bags and stuff. And I remember my sister and I walking out of Miss Partlow's house, and I hear my dad, hey, what are you guys doing? And I look, and there's 2 men with long trench coats coming out of our house. And one of them had a bag, and they start running. Oh my God. I mean, even at that age, I realized, like, how profoundly divine that was, me getting out of that house. But, like, as I've lived life and whenever I think about that experience, that was like, if that wasn't, if there was ever a time to talk about divine intervention, that was the time. The angels were looking out for me. And then you could call it coincidence, but no, to the core of my soul, I know that, the angels stepped in. And Lord knows what those guys would have done to me. Lord knows. And I just knew to get out of that house. I heard that voice and I got out. And I tell you, I've had more moments like that in my life. And, you know, like when I think about those moments, I just have so much gratitude. I just have so much gratitude, you know, because to think about the things that could have happened and they didn't. I'm just so grateful to God universe. I really am. And I know you all must have stories similar to that, some spiritual story that you'd love to share, and I'd love to hear them. I am happy to announce that I am starting a new group here in South Florida. It's a transgender and ally spiritual group, and it's going to be the first Tuesday of every month. Our first meeting is on Tuesday, February 5th. And it's going to be held at Love and Light Spiritual Emporium. It's located on Commercial Boulevard. Let me give you the exact address. It's 1419 East Commercial Boulevard, Suite B, Oakland Park, Florida, 33334. That's 1419 East Commercial Boulevard, Suite B, Oakland Park, Florida, 33334. And it starts at 8 p.m. and it goes to 9:30 p.m. So it's an hour and a half. Our first meeting, we have a special guest. Her name is Terry Miller. She is a angel channeler. So she will be giving messages from the angels to everyone who shows up. Maybe I'll hear from the angels that looked out for me on those two occasions. Oh my God, those two incidents, I'll call them. I even to this day, all these years have gone by. I can't even believe it. Like when I think about those two moments where someone from above stepped in. Wow. So yeah, so I want to see you all in the place. Come on out, share your spiritual stories, get a message from the angels. And like I said, it's going to be the first Tuesday of every month. The first meeting is February 5th, and it's going to be at the Love and Light Spiritual Emporium. I want to see you in the house, okay? If you all are watching this video on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Y'all be watching my videos, but you don't subscribe. Come on, what's going on? And my book, don't forget my book if you want to know more about my journey. It's called Beyond Face Value, A Journey to True Beauty, and that's available on Amazon.com. So, love, peace, and blessings, y'all. Oh. Thank God for the angels.